Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. I hope you guys are having a lovely week so far. Holy cow, it's Thursday already. It is November 6th. If you're out there on the East Coast, it is just 10 after 6. Out here in Arizona, it is just after 4 p.m. And yeah, it's still in the mid 80s out here as far as temperature goes. So we're still cooking out here in Arizona, and I'm going to make this horror news roundup relatively quick, guys, because I'm going to see the Beths tonight. I friggin' love the Beths. They are an amazing band from New Zealand. I've only noticed in the couple of years that I've followed them, I've seen them have dates for New York and LA, and they're usually doing, a supporting role in those shows, and they sell out immediately. So they're finally out here in the States touring. I'm going to go check them out tonight with my brother Matt. I'm very excited. We have, I don't know if it's like VIP seats, but I paid for the seats that are like up in the balcony at this venue, and it's awesome. You have like your own little doorbell buzzer to let them, to let the server know that they need to come and like get you a fresh drink or whatever the hell they got going. So very excited to check them out. They're one of the best bands I've ever heard in my life. No joke. If you are not listening to the Beths, and you like power pop or garage rock, or you like pop punk, or you like 90s, alternative rock, sometimes it's like Cranberries meets Weezer. There's like somewhere in there, because sometimes it's soft music, sometimes it's tougher music, but very gorgeous melodies and a band that works their ass off. Like 4 people, they all sing, they sound massive. I can't wait to actually experience it live. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna try to stop talking about it. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably drop a short or something about it. But I know we don't always talk music here. You guys are here for the horror stuff. So real quick before we get going, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members, and of course our Death Squad mods. And shout out to all of you that have been watching the videos, hitting the like button, sharing, hyping up the videos. That's huge. I put out I did a trailer reaction of the Scream 7 trailer, and then I did this slow motion quarter speed breakdown, 35 minutes or something, just getting through the trailer. And the support has been awesome. Overnight, those numbers shot up on that video. So I'm guessing that has something to do with you guys. So thank you so very much. And if you like that kind of content and you like the long form stuff from me, which it seems like you guys do, the Halloween franchise ranking has been doing really well. And yeah, the Scream breakdown stuff. So I just put a fresh poll out on the page, just asking you guys if you want to see more of those slow-mo breakdowns. I know that breaking down trailers isn't for everybody, but I like doing it. And as a content creator that covers horror movies, I'd kind of be foolish to not do it for things that I'm interested in. It's just another chance to connect with you guys. And actually, like what I got from the Scream 7 trailer breakdown, it's a great opportunity for me to see a lot more and learn a lot more about what could possibly be happening in this film. So let me know if you enjoyed that kind of stuff, and we can bring more of that to you guys here on the channel. So I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and then we'll go ahead and dive right into the news. Before we do that, I want to let you know that I have pinned in the chat the link for the St. Mary's Food Bank donation site. I want you guys to know that's still open. Every dollar donated provides 5 meals for hungry people out here in the Phoenix area. Right now, we're at $833. Thank you so much to everyone that's donated. It's amazing to have reached that amount. In fact, what's crazy is the other day, Michael Graves from the Misfits, now he's the singer that replaced Glenn Danzig. And I think Michael Graves is an awesome singer. Like the 2 records that he's on, Famous Monsters and American Psycho, awesome records, really great Misfits records. I actually think like some of Michael Graves' songs are my favorite Misfits songs. Like Saturday Night is one of my favorite, probably my favorite Misfits song right there. And I saw that he had tweeted something about, supporting food banks during the government shutdown, flood them with donations. So I shared the donation site with him, and he dropped in a $50 donation. So really cool to have like support from you guys from within the community, and then also just greater support from people that are, kind of in my orbit as a big like punk rock and music guy as well. So every dollar 5 meals. So we're over the 4,000 meal mark. I would love for us to hit $1,000 there. It's just like, what, $167 left to get to $1,000, and that would provide 5,000 meals. So that would be incredible. And then I've got a poll in the chat. Are you excited for Gremlins 3 with Spielberg and Columbus back? So you guys can answer that. It looks like 16 of you already have. And yes, super chat goals. I'm going to keep them going, guys, but it's not an obligation, okay? Super chats and all that, the financial support of the channel is the icing on the cake for me. And it's, you know, for people that are able to go that extra mile, I would rather you know, of course, donate that money to the food bank. And then if you've got more and you want to see the extra stuff that I can provide here for you guys, then the super chat goals are created for those. So, you know, if you guys want to do a Scream/Scream 2 double feature watch party, watch party, $25 spread over 5 super chats will get you that double feature watch party. I thought it would be fun to do something like that leading up to Scream 7. Maybe take them, you know, do 3 different double feature watch parties. Could be kind of cool. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And we can do them over here on YouTube, or we can do them on the Discord server. It's awesome. Over there, we can actually show the movie. You don't have to find your own copy or anything like that. And the Discord is totally free. So there's a link in the description if you want to join us on Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. So feel free to join us over there. And yeah, let me jump in, say what's up to you guys, and we'll get right on to the news. Okay, so we have got, let's see here. Oh my gosh, so many chats. You guys are amazing. If you're watching, make sure to hit that like button, whether you're live or you're watching after the fact. It really does help give the live stream and the replay a little bit of extra life. And you know, this is how we find new people to join our communities. People just popping into a live and not only enjoying the content. I think that's one level of it, but more so enjoying hanging out with you guys. That's why I'm here. So let's say what's up to y'all and get cooking. We got Lamontre Gillard in the house. What's happening, Lamontre? Ashton Luck is hanging out. This guy, Davey, Deathray. I don't know. What do you guys think of the new logo? Are you guys digging the logo? I don't know. Let me know. I dig it. I like it. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Saucy Jack's Boneyard. What's going on, Saucy Jack? We got Chester Franklin Jr. in the house. King Matthew the Third. I'm doing well. King Matthew. How about yourself, sir? We got Good Real Hunting. That is Brett Man, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Brett? Great to see you. Gory Tiger is in the house. What's happening, Gory? Always a pleasure, my guy. We got Stephanie Hinkle, one of our brand new channel members. How are you doing, Stephanie? Love seeing you join us here. Stephanie's relatively new, but I think she might be a true believer already. And then we got Ray. What's happening, Ray? How are you doing? Ray is like, hey, let's go. Okay, Ray, we can go. We are going. We got Tom hanging out with his 2 little kitties. How are you doing, Tom? Are they kitties or are they lemurs? I think those are kitties. We got Dean Renner, our triple threat Patreon member, channel member, and Death Squad mod. What's happening, Dean? Always great to have you. We got Eli Cortez, pillar of the horror community. What's happening, Eli? Love seeing you jump on in there. We got Trash Box Mandy. How's it going, Mandy? Hope you're having a good day so far. Hillary Duff's new single drops at 9 p.m. Holy crap. I had no idea she was still doing music. No idea. We got Jigsaw in the house. What's happening? The only option, where's the option that says only if Gizmo dances to Footloose? He'd probably dance to something else, right? They'd pick something modern, pick something a little more modern. I don't know. Probably. Let's see here. We got Raggedy Man, one of our great channel members. And I didn't even say this. Trashbox Mandy is one of our great channel members. So I gotta make sure to mention that. Metal by the Beths. That's a really good one. That's off the new record. I believe this is their 4th full-length album. I think every album's really damn good. Expert in a Dying Field's probably my favorite, but it's really tough to pick with a band like the Beths because they truly are one of the best bands I've ever heard in my life. How's it going, Linda? One of our great channel members. Linda hanging out. How are you doing? I'm guessing Linda really enjoyed the slow-mo breakdown of the Scream 7 trailer. Let me know, guys. Voice your opinion in that poll. I just, I want to make sure. There are certain things that I'm just going to cover. Like, the Scream content doesn't do amazing numbers. I think there's something about, like, on YouTube, what I've noticed, and I could be totally wrong. It could just be from the sample size that the small sample size I've seen on YouTube. seems like Scream content does very well when the presenter is a lady. I don't know what it is about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It seems like, yeah, maybe women extra gravitate towards Scream, and I don't know exactly why that would be necessarily. It just sort of is something I've noticed. But yeah, I put out this content and I'm like, man, I'm just not really seeing the numbers. And of course, it could just be my content isn't as engaging, or maybe you guys are just more about the Halloween content and all that stuff. So just getting to know you guys a little bit more. But I love Scream, so I'm gonna cover it either way. So don't feel like you have to like it just because I'm covering it. But I am curious to know if you guys dig that in general. So moving forward, I can do those slow-mo breakdowns because I had fun doing it. Can't wait to watch Thanksgiving in the coming weeks. I love Thanksgiving, Matt. It's one of my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite slashers of all time. Certainly one of my favorite in recent years. Yeah. Famous Monsters is a great record. Yeah, I really dig it. Everyone rips on Michael Graves because he's not Danzig, and it's like, well, the band wanted to keep on making records, so I guess you can just blame Danzig for that and not Michael Graves. Or you can blame the other bandmates that continued without Danzig. We got Destiny Faulkner in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Dez? Or Dez, what's your temperature on the Scream 7 film? Are you looking forward to that one? I don't even know. I would imagine you're a Scream fan, but I guess I don't know, how big of a Scream fan you might be. But I would imagine you are. I at least haven't seen the Dez hate on Scream. Usually if people don't like Scream, they voice it, and it's easy to remember. Frank Riker, Slaughtered Lamb, not a fan of Scream. Let's see what else we got going on here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Melissa Wildcard, how are you doing, Melissa? Feel like it's been a little bit. Welcome on back. I'm pumped to see you in the chat. It's great to see you. Ashton likes the logo. There we go. I know I had to figure that out too. And then I think Linda reached out to me on Insta, and that's how I figured out, it's Linda. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are digging the logo as well. Yeah, I am a fan. Although I noticed that my logo has the little white bits around it, so I think I need to update it so it just looks like just the logo without the white little slivers on the sides. What's happening, Adrian? So good to see you, bud. Thank you for joining us. I don't think I've missed anybody else so far. Let's see. I know you guys are amazing, jumping in and saying hello. We got Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod, and our Mama mod, also a channel member. How are you doing, Jamie? So good to see you. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on into the news. We've got some fun stuff, and I wanted to wait until after Hit the Bricks. We did Hit the Bricks last night. We talked a lot about Scream 7 and just kind of some random stuff as well. So we didn't dive too much into the news. So now that we're, removed from Hit the Bricks, I feel like, okay, I can start talking about this stuff a little bit. I just don't want to double up on it, or anything like that. So let me see what we got here. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about as far as coming up on the channel. I need to jump back into members only stuff, and I've just been really busy with my current job and then training for this or studying for this exam. So yeah, not much coming up on the channel that's planned as of now, although I am working on a fresh 2025 franchise ranking of A Nightmare on Elm Street, because I just recently watched those movies and there's a lot of movement in that ranking. And I feel like for the first time, I really have a grip on what's going on in this franchise, why it's my third favorite out of the big three, because there's a lot of problems with the lore in A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like almost every movie doesn't really care about the movie before it. So I'm going to get into all of that in the ranking, but that's something I'm planning. I'm also planning a Scream ranking to drop before Scream 7, or maybe I should wait until after Scream 7. And then I am going to take another look at a fresh Friday the 13th ranking as well. So a whole bunch of fun stuff in the works for you guys. And hopefully it'll be fun for me too. Hopefully it will. We got Fat Cheese Cinema in the house. What's happening, Matt? Davey, my sexy stud muffin. Oh, you know it, Matt. And we got Paula Fitzhenry joining in as well. Welcome on in, Paula. Okay, guys, let's get to the friggin' news here. This one just dropped earlier today. There were murmurs about it. heard a little something, and then boom, here we go. We actually have something official. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. So let's go ahead and dive right in, kids. Okay, guys, so it's been a really long time since Gremlins 2, the new batch. That must have been, what, like 90 or 91, sometime in the early 90s. So we've been more than 30 years removed from any fresh Gremlins content. But over the last couple, or the past few days, there seemed to have been some murmurs, some rumblings. And here we go. Today, November 6th, just earlier today, we got this news here that comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. And the headline reads, Steven Spielberg producing new Gremlins movie for 2027 release. Now, before I dive into the story, I do want to know from you folks hanging out in the live chat and everyone kicking it after the fact, watching this the news bits version of this video, or maybe you're watching the replay of the live. Shout out to you. I'm just curious to know, did you grow up with Gremlins? Are you a bit of a younger cat and maybe you had to catch up on Gremlins? I come from the generation where I grew up with the original movie. I really like the sequel as well. I like that it's different, but that it's really fun. It's just like, it's like Gremlins cranked up to 11. You get that extra bit of wackiness, and it's wild. I mean, we've all seen the Key and Peele skit about it, and that's fairly accurate to the vibe around Gremlins 2. So I'm really excited about this because Spielberg's coming back. Chris Columbus is involved. I think there's a good pedigree and people that really care about the property involved. It's not just being handed off to some up-and-coming filmmaker or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And it certainly doesn't mean the movie's going to be good just because Spielberg and Columbus are involved, although I do think it really helps the chances. So I want to know what you guys think about this one and your experience with the franchise up to this point. Like, are you fresh to it? Do you love it? Just let me know, and let's go ahead and jump in and see what we got here. Lovely little shot of Gizmo there from the OG. Gosh, Gizmo is just so cute, you guys. It's almost too much, honestly. Okay, so the article says, after many years of false starts, Warner Brothers has officially announced this morning that the Gremlins franchise is returning to the big screen, and they've already set a release date. Gizmo will return to theaters November 19th, 2027. Steven Spielberg will executive produce the upcoming third installments in the... Did I say installments? Steven Spielberg will executive produce the upcoming third installment in the Gremlins franchise. Chris Columbus, the original movie's writer, will produce and direct. While we haven't seen a new Gremlins movie since director Joe Dante's two classics back in 1984 and 1990, the beloved franchise more recently returned to the screen with a 2-season animated prequel series on HBO Max. Stay tuned for more on Gremlins 3 as we learn it. And it looks like there was an update just later on this morning from when the article was published. It says the Hollywood Reporter reports that Zach Lipovsky. All right. There was just an update earlier today. The Hollywood Reporter says that Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein are writing Gremlins 3 alongside Chris Columbus. Talk of a third Gremlins movie has come and gone several times over the years, and you can read all about that lengthy history over on the franchise's official Wikipedia page. And then you guys know what this is all about. The franchise centers around adorable alien species known as the Mogwai, which comes armed with 3 specific rules. Rules. Do I really need to dive into the franchise and what it centers on? You guys know what this is about, right? Gremlins is about the alien species known as the Mogwai. They come armed with 3 very specific rules. Break them and the fuzzy furballs turn into malevolently mischievous creatures known as gremlins. The Mogwai hero of the movies is, of course, Gizmo, voiced by Howie Mandel, while the most iconic villain is the chainsaw-wielding Stripe. And then, of course, you have Billy Peltzer and Kate Berenger, played by Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates in Dante's movies. No word on whether or not the new script includes them. I think Phoebe Cates retired a while ago, but she might come out for this one. So that'd be really cool. I don't know. I'm excited for this one, especially because I think the most recent news we got was that Chris Columbus, I think Zach Galligan was the one talking about it. Chris Columbus was working on like a draft of the script and had basically gotten to the point where he was ready to pitch it to Spielberg, and they just needed to get Spielberg's blessing. So it seemed like that was the last like shoe to drop there for this to actually head into pre-production. And man, we've got a date. I mean, of course, that date can change. And like I said earlier, just because Columbus and Spielberg are involved, it doesn't guarantee this is going to be really good, but I think it gives us a damn good chance. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what Gremlins 3 has to offer. I would imagine we're going to see mostly practical effects here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some CG, just because even in the original films, they use things like animation, and we're going to probably see an extension of some of that. But I gotta feel like, I don't know, I have this feeling that Spielberg wouldn't really be interested in doing this if they weren't going to try to do it in a way that was congruent and consistent with the first two films. So those are my inklings as of now. All of that remains to be seen for whenever we get a trailer or images from the production. But I'm very excited and curious to know what you guys think. So let me know whether you're hanging out in the live chat or you're watching after the fact. Jump on into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts down below. How are you feeling about Gremlins 3? Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. Hype the video up if you're digging this as well, because the community is growing and you guys are a massive part of that. We're going to keep on covering horror news here, whether it's movies, TV shows, books, comic books, video games, rumors, whatever, as long as it piques our interest or tickles our fancy. We're going to cover it right here, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, let's see what you're saying here in the chat. Let's see here. I'm way behind. Dean grew up on Gremlins. That and Home Alone were always my go-to Christmas movies. Very similar vibes, right? I think, Columbus directed Home Alone, right? And yeah, I mean, Dante and Columbus, very similar filmmaking styles for sure. Haven't seen Gremlins 2 yet, but it's on my December watch list. I only watched Gremlins for the first time in like 2021. What did you think? Did you have fun with it? Well, I guess I would imagine so. Not so much fun that you wouldn't watch the sequel right away. The sequel is different, but different, I think, in a fantastic way. I saw both Gremlins in the theater. I'm pretty sure I saw 2 in the theater, but the first one came out when I was only 2 years old. So I missed that one for sure. I still have the books with the records you got from Burger King, says Raggedy Man. Oh, I totally missed that. Damn. That sounds like fun. Never seen Gremlins 2, but have fun with Gremlins. Phoebe Cates, I love in Gremlins. God, she's so freaking cute. She is just such a little cutie pie. Seen the first Gremlins, not the second? What the heck is going on? You guys got to get out there and check out Gremlins 2. You got, I swear you all are missing out. Gremlins is great. Gremlins 2, just as good. Maybe better. I don't know. At least just as good. I think arguably more exciting for sure. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? We got Blu-ray Addict joining us. What's happening, Blue? Says, I've only seen the first Gremlins and I like it, but it's never been one of my favorites. That's totally fair. Yeah. I mean, I think the first one's really good. Not one that I watch every single year, but I do have a Blu-ray that's got like the first 2 movies. I think it's Gremlins, Gremlins 2, and Goonies, like a little 3-pack kind of thing. Kind of wild. If the Gremlins are CGI, I'm walking straight out my local theater. Don't be surprised if there's some of that in the mix, but I would imagine 90 to 95% of the Gremlins are going to be practical. That's what I would imagine. You know, and just keep in mind, guys, you know, Gremlins 2 has some animation and some stuff like that. Now it is more traditional style animation and like stop motion that they're using, but it's mostly puppetry and practical effects. And I gotta have faith that they're gonna do the right thing here and keep it practical. It just wouldn't look right. It wouldn't fit with the other movies, and you want it to fit with the other movies. We got Kim Schubert 61 in the chat. What's happening, Kim? You got a little kitty there on your couch? I love kitty cats so much. Kim says it broke my heart when Gizmo said bye, Billy. Yeah, Gizmo is a little bit of a heartbreaker there. Very, very cute. And yeah, I think that's something about the Gremlins universe is like, you, at least for me, I feel attachment to the characters, and then I feel their own relationships. Like it does feel very grounded and very real. There's a special bond between Gizmo and Billy, and very much so in the sequel as well. And the sequel has what? John Glover. I love that guy as a performer. I mean, he is just amazing. He's so good in Scrooged, really good in Smallville. I don't think I've seen him in anything that I dislike him in as a performer, and he plays a great, like, I don't know, just a sleazy network head in Gremlins 2. Let's see what else we got here. I wish I would have known this about Gremlins before Scarefest. I met him while there. Took a picture with Gizmo. He's so cute. Yeah, there was talks of that script being handed off to Spielberg, and they were just waiting on Spielberg's word. So I'm guessing Steven is very, very happy with the latest version of the script he's seen, happy enough to where they could settle on a date. Yeah, it's really good news. I hope it's good. Usually doesn't usually go well when they come back to a franchise after so many years. That can be true. I think we've got some heavy hitters joining this one that will make sure that it stays on the rails. So, I didn't. I meant to put officially a go. Yeah. You know what? When you put these things together at the last minute and you're really excited about the bets, that's just how it goes. I'll be able to fix it in the news bits version. So I appreciate you letting me know, Ray. Nothing quite like a typo, that just sits there up on the screen forever. Okay, let's see here. Columbus' screenplay was heavily altered. His style as a director is safe and sentimental. Dante's was sentimental but anarchic. I'm not keen right now. Have you read the script, JG? I mean, I would imagine every script goes through like alterations, but as far as I know, I mean, I guess he is teaming up with other writers, so I guess it'll be interesting to see, or just hear how much of that is the original. But I haven't read any more than what we're seeing here on Bloody Disgusting. I did not watch the animated series at all. Yeah. It's frankly offensive. People are acting like Columbus was the heart of Gremlins and leaving out Dante. I don't know where you're getting that vibe, but I think Joe Dante did a great job directing those two movies. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next story here. Let me just make sure. Ray, check this one out. Is there a typo in there? Let me know. And then here, just for posterity here, we're gonna have some fun. There, I'm gonna put that up there. That way I can screen grab it and put it on the news bits version. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, let's talk about this thing here. I'm a little nervous for obvious Davey reasons. So let's see what we got. All right, guys, so just a couple days ago, we had this news story drop of The Mummy coming back, like the Brendan Fraser racial? Wow, racial Weisz. She's very racial. Let me start that all over again. That's me rewinding. All right, guys, so just the other day on the 4th of November, we got news here of a Mummy reboot or legacy sequel, I guess is what it's going to be. We've got Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz coming back, and it sounds like, we'll dive into the article and everything, but all the news that I've seen and the little bits that I've skimmed through, it sounds like it'll be a direct sequel to the second Mummy movie, The Mummy Returns, I believe. Now, I really enjoyed that first one with Brendan Fraser. I thought it was, kind of a Indiana Jones sort of feel, and kind of like a precursor to what we ended up seeing with like the Pirates of the Caribbean type movies, where it's these swashbuckling adventure epics, but there's this comedic element, there's danger, so there's like little bit of horror elements going on in there as well, but it just had this really classic Hollywood feel, and I quite enjoyed that first movie. I remember enjoying The Mummy Returns okay. But for me, it's mostly about that first one that they did. And yeah, I guess I'm curious to know what you guys think, because the article here by John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting has a headline that reads, "The Mummy 4, Radio Silence directing Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in long-awaited sequel." So how are you feeling about not only bringing back the original actors, but how are you guys feeling about Radio Silence directing this picture? Now, I'm pretty lukewarm on Radio Silence. They have not impressed me. Like, I think they're competent filmmakers. They've made movies that I thought are good. I've never thought that one of their movies has been great. Their sense of humor really doesn't jive with me. So I'm a bit apprehensive here, because I'm worried that the movie is just not going to hit comedically for me. So I don't know, but I'll leave it up to you guys, because you guys are way nicer about Radio Silence than I am. So let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this legacy sequel for The Mummy that we are going to get. And let's jump into the article and see what it says here. God, man, talk about CG, like good use of CG. I think there's a lot of really good CG in that first film, you know, especially for the time that it was made. And Rachel Weisz is hot, so I'll just say that. Let's go ahead and get into the article, which says, the Brendan Fraser-led The Mummy franchise that kicked off in 1999 is coming back to life with a brand new movie starring Brendan Fraser, The Hollywood Reporter reports this afternoon. Both Fraser and franchise co-star Rachel Weisz are coming back for The Mummy 4, with Radio Silence duo Matt Bettinelli. These names, I'm terrible with names when it comes to live streams. Both Fraser, let me just restart that. Both Fraser and franchise co-star Rachel Weisz are coming back for The Mummy 4 with Radio Silence directing the first installment in the adventure horror franchise since 2008. The Hollywood Reporter details in their report, quote, "One source describes the project as not a reboot, but rather a sequel that would disregard the events of the third movie." Okay, so it's not The Mummy 4, it's just going to be The Mummy Legacy or something like that. David Kogashal wrote the screenplay for the new movie. Before Tom Cruise was cast in a similar role as part of Universal's failed Dark Universe, it was, of course, Brendan Fraser who was the lead of the Mummy franchise, starring as the heroic Rick O'Connell in The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which I skipped between 1999 and 2008. Fraser led the films to massive box office success, a level of success that the Tom Cruise-led reboot just wasn't able to achieve more recently. The Fraser-led Mummy franchise was a massive success, with the 1999 film outgrossing the 2017 film, even when its numbers aren't adjusted for inflation. Even the lowest grossing movie in Fraser's trilogy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, scared up a worldwide total of $403 million. With nostalgia for the trilogy on the rise, The Mummy 4 could be huge for Universal. Stay tuned for more on Brendan Fraser's return as Rick O'Connell as we learn it. So, yeah, just a very, I don't know if the right word is shallow announcement, just not much meat on the bone there. Just, hey, this is happening. This is who is going to direct. And yeah, it's not really going to be a direct sequel to all of the previous movies. Sounds like they're cutting out that third movie so they can bring back Rachel Weisz and maybe not have aged up the son as much. But I guess at this point, if the kid is there, the kid is going to be, a grown adult at this point, because it's been a while. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm apprehensive on this one. Radio Silence, to me, they're like C+, B- filmmakers. I didn't really enjoy their Scream movies. Abigail and Ready or Not, I think, are better than what they did with Scream. And yeah, I just, I know they didn't write the script or anything. It's just their sense of humor doesn't really jive with mine. So, we'll wait and see on this one. I'm curious to see more news as it comes out, but certainly something I wanted to cover since I enjoy the first film in this franchise. I'm a big Brendan Fraser fan ever since Encino Man. I saw that in the theater way back when. And yeah, I'm just a fan of this guy, and I'm a fan of those swashbuckling kind of adventure films. So I really dig where this franchise started, and hopefully they can do it justice, bringing back these characters and these performers as well. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. So let me know whether you're hanging in the live chat. Let me know there. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments section. Let me know your thoughts down there. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, and think about hyping the video as well, because that brings more and more folks into our awesome community. And guys, we're going to keep on covering news, you know, horror news. This is a little more horror adjacent, so if it's close enough and something I'm interested in, then we'll certainly cover it. You know, what I like to say is if it tickles our fancy or piques our interest, we'll cover it right here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, let's see what you're saying about The Mummy. Oh my goodness. All right. Holy cow, we got a super chat coming in. I love it. I love to see it. I'll watch anything with Brendan. That's my boy, says Ray. Yeah, he's so good. Even the cheesy, like, I don't know, like, yeah, Encino Man's like kind of cheesy, but it's really fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, you know? The fact that the Mummy reboot is doing so poorly with test audiences, they renamed it to The Resurrected, is crazy. I don't know if that's why. So that's an interesting thing that Tom brings up, and maybe a story I should have brought up, but I don't think they've really explained it. I think that maybe Lee Cronin's Mummy movie got renamed to The Resurrected because what if, I think this is it Universal that did the Mummy? What if they own the rights to the name? So they stepped in and said, hey guys, we're actually going to use this name. You can't use the name anymore. I don't know. Maybe. Holy cow, we got Leanna Bevy Rage in the house. How are you doing, Leanna? So good to see you. I don't know what's going on with the chat. Oh Lord, radio silence. Yeah. Oh yeah. Who else am I missing? Hey, we got Allie Girl, one of our great channel members. Driving home, so I can't respond, but listening. Well, thank you so much for tuning in there, Allie. And we got Frank from Frank's Media and Reviews. What's happening, Frank? Hope you are doing well here. Gotcha. Not saying it's me, but I find the whole Columbus Returns. I mean, the story just came out, so I guess I haven't seen as much as you know, you've seen on that one, JG. But yeah, I think most people have a pretty favorable view of Dante as a director for sure. Let's see here. What do we got on the Mummy? I didn't hate the Mummy Returns. The Mommy Returns. Well, I didn't hate that either. Yeah, it's true. Mommy Returns. I watched the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor once and hated it. Yeah, I never jumped into that one. Only seen the first one, says Des. Fairly new to the Mummy. Yeah, that first one's really fun. Yeah, like the Returns is okay, but yeah, the first one's a classic. Big radio silence fan here, says Des. So I guess you've got to be like really on board for this, huh? I would imagine, yeah. Tom says radio silence are way overrated. Scream 5 and 6 are milquetoast, and they don't understand how to write humor without being cringe. I'm kind of right there with you, Tom. Like, the humor really doesn't work for me. Even in Ready or Not, which I liked, I was like, man, these jokes are like this is not landing for me. Don't know what it's a very difficult thing to explain, like whether or not humor works for you. It's tough. It's tougher to explain than I think a lot of other aspects of like a genre film critique. Yeah, I never even saw that Tom Cruise one. It came out like right after that Suicide Squad movie came out. They both had like the same villain, right? They had like smoky lady like doing this kind of stuff, like smoky, you know, mummy chick like dancing and wiggling her head. I'm just like, what is this? Why am I supposed to be afraid of this? And why is this in my face? 2 movies in a row that had nothing to do with each other and pretty much had the same exact villain. It was wild. It was wild stuff. Not all Toms are created equal. I wasn't a really big fan of The Mummy. Oh, well, that's okay. You know, it doesn't resonate with everybody. That's for sure. I remember seeing The Mummy Mummy Returns in cinema, and I liked it. I'm pretty sure I saw that one in the theater too. That's the one that's got the really bad Scorpion King at the end. Holy cow, we got Matt Fisher jumping on in with a $5 super chat. Matt says, just found your channel. Have no idea why it popped up on my feed, but hello, and I'm always up for a good horror movie. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for jumping on in. Matt, you know what probably brought you here or why it popped up on the homepage is because the people in the community are so awesome about clicking that like button, sharing the channel, all that kind of stuff. And the more that you guys engage and share and all that kind of stuff, the more it's likely to just pop up in somebody's feed that like, hey, YouTube is like, hey, Matt Fisher, we've noticed the videos that you're clicking on. You might like this guy called Davey Deathray. So thank you so much for joining us, Matt. Really appreciate the $5 super chat, especially as a first timer. I extra appreciate that. So yeah, welcome, man. You're kicking it with the Death Squad, and I think we've, or I hope we've got a new sub and a new community member in ya. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, there you go. Des throwing out the love, as well as Jamie and Trashbox Mandy and Ashton. You guys are too sweet, welcoming Matt into the community here. Blu-ray says Encino Man is a lot of fun. I also like Blast from the Past. Yeah, Airheads is friggin' amazing. Airheads is one of the best movies from the 90s. Like best comedies from the 90s? Yes, absolutely. Airheads is in there. Blast from the Past is really fun too. Christopher Walken, Alicia Silverstone. There's a mention of Juneau, Alaska in there. I think Dave Foley from The Kids in the Hall is part of that whole mention. Very, very, I haven't seen Blast from the Past in forever. That's a fun concept for a movie. Bedazzled, kind of funny too. Like I wanted to hate Brendan Fraser at that point in my life, but it's pretty funny. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, I explained it. So I've at least explained why I am lukewarm on them. I'm not saying I dislike them. I'm very lukewarm on them. Yeah, and I've explained it very, very thoroughly numerous times. All right. Fuck your fucking family lives in my family, or lives in my head rent free. We got Matt Fisher with another super chat. This one, $2. Matt says Tom Cruise was awful, but had a good music score. Oh, all right. Yeah, I just never dove into that Mummy movie. I wasn't going to the theater a lot at that time. And then once they kind of blew up the whole dark universe or whatever, I was like, okay, well, I guess they don't really, you know, they're not really, if they're not going to buy into it, then why am I going to buy into it and check out their movie? But thank you so much for the for another super chat, Matt. You're too sweet. Thank you. All right, let's see what else we got. I tried to be laid back a little bit, you know. If I'm ever harsh on somebody, I'm harsh on myself. Have you guys noticed I've already made numerous mistakes while reading to you guys. I had the spelling mistake in the banner on the first story, but I'm maintaining that composure because I'm going to see the Beths tonight. So I'm in a good mood, so I will be very nice to myself tonight. There are like 8 Scorpion King movies now. Oh my goodness. I do see a bunch of these pop up. These like low budget, like out of nowhere, like we're just going to tell another origin story of the Scorpion King. Oh, it's pretty funny. Like, share, and hype. Yes, that's the way to be, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see what else we got going on in here. Matt Fisher dropping another super chat. This one is a $5. I'm wondering if John Hannah will return. He said he doesn't find himself funny. So is John Hannah, is that the actor that's over Brendan Fraser's left shoulder there holding the pistol? He's Rachel Weisz's character's brother, I think. I mean, I thought he was really funny and charming in that, especially in that first movie. I don't remember too much of the second, but yeah. Ooh, guys, Good Real Hunting is starting a new era tonight. Have a great one and see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern, says Brett. He is heading out to go set that up. So yeah, guys, here in about an hour, you're going to want to go over to Good Real Hunting and show those guys some love. But thank you so much, Matt, for the $5. I just want to make sure to give you another little kudos there. Yeah, you know, we'll kind of sit back. We'll see if any other casting announcements come through. I would imagine if any of the, you know, actors from the original the first two movies are available and would like to come back and their characters are still alive in the script, I would imagine we'd see them. So maybe even I can't remember the one guy's name. He's like the protector of the tomb, but he's also like the lead gigolo in Deuce Bigalow, like the very first Deuce Bigalow male gigolo. I can't remember this actor's name, but he's very charming and really funny, and he's got a good look and everything like that. I can't remember if his character lives through the first two movies, but hey, if they can bring him back, let's bring him back too. Holy cow, and Matt Fisher dropping another $5, says the Blue Time Force Power Ranger played the Scorpion King. Oh my gosh, I had no... Is that in one of the newer reboots of the Scorpion King? I think I saw one of those pop up somewhere. So the Blue Time... So, and then Matt, just to let... Like, I am in the early 80s, baby, but by the time the Power Rangers were popular, it was like mid-90s. I was like into listening to punk rock and stuff, and so I totally missed... Like, I was probably just old enough to where I could have been into the Power Rangers, but I just never got into them. So that's news to me. Blue Time Force Power Ranger played the Scorpion King. There we go. And holy cow, where are we at on our super chat goal? We're 3/5 of the way there. Okay. All right. Heck yeah. So just two more of $5 or more, and I'll do a double feature Scream 2 watch party. So how about that? How about that? Thank you for sharing the link there, Leanna. Yeah, guys, if you're not already subscribed to Good Real Hunting, go give them some love. And here in about an hour, they're going to launch a new era of their channel. So I'm going to be in the car on the way to the show. I'll have to tune in and see what the new era looks like. Yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on over to our next story here. We've got a final trailer for Keeper, and I'm excited to check this one out. I've not watched this trailer, and I know not everyone's into watching trailers and all that stuff, but when you cover horror on YouTube, you gotta watch the trailers. It's just something that I have resigned myself to, and then I've just found a way to just enjoy it. You know, try to not fight it. And I'm a huge Osgood Perkins fan, so I'm gonna have a sip of water and then let's jump into this story. How about it? Ray, are there any spelling errors here? I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, guys, so Osgood Perkins just won't stop making movies, and I really like the movies of his that I've seen. So I am very excited for Keeper, which is coming out here in just like 8 days, I think, just in a couple weeks or a week and a half from where we're at right now. And we have a final trailer. Now, I'm intrigued because the first two trailers, or maybe it's been like a teaser and like a trailer and a half, they've been very mysterious, full of mystique, like not really giving away too much. That's kind of like I would say like the Neon model for the way that they do their marketing. They're really good at marketing their movies. Just the whole, you know, film production studio does a great job. And then I think there's also something with the way that Perkins makes his movies for the most part, you know, stuff like Long Legs, and we're seeing it here with Keeper, where there's just something kind of ambiguous about it anyways. So I'm really curious about this one because it looks to be, you know, it's centered around a relationship. I've gone through this crazy year of my life with a complete like upheaval in, you know, my previous romantic relationship. So maybe I'm just sort of feeling the relationship horror more lately. Like I really enjoyed Together, and that's very much, you know, a relationship kind of movie with body horror. And then this is, you know, Keeper looks to be Osgood Perkins' turn on, you know, what romantic relationships bring, the you know, the good and in this case it looks to be the bad, like the possessive part of romantic relationships. So very, very curious here. And the headline says Keeper final trailer, hell awaits in Osgood Perkins' unnerving nightmare. So this whole like hell awaits, I'm like, oh man, so this trailer, maybe the trailer does really show us something hardcore. So let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Oz Perkins as a, you know, creator in the horror space in general. You know, in the live chat, let me know. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Keeper, and just your thoughts on Perkins and his career so far. He's been very, very busy. And also let me know if you want me to do a slow-mo breakdown of this trailer. So let's see what we got, see if it deserves all of that kind of treatment. And yeah, this image right here is pretty nightmarish and creepy right there. A little melty head. All right, so the article here says there's no going back after you experience the pure terror of Keeper in the final trailer below. The preview boasts praise from horror luminaries like Guillermo del Toro, James Wan, Bong Joon-ho, Fede Alvarez, Damien Leone, Hideo Kojima, and Bloody Disgusting's own John Squires, who calls it, quote, a deeply unnerving nightmare, end quote. Hell awaits when the film opens in theaters on November 14th from Neon. The latest dark trip from director Osgood Perkins is written by Nick Lepard, who also wrote Dangerous Animals, which I really enjoyed. Looks like it's a totally different film than what Keeper is going to be, but I really enjoyed Dangerous Animals. And the article says it follows. Let me just rewrite this for them. The article goes on to say Keeper follows a couple as they escape for a romantic anniversary weekend at a secluded cabin. When Malcolm suddenly returns to the city, Liz finds herself isolated and in the presence of an unspeakable evil that unveils the cabin's horrifying secrets. So Tatiana Maslany and Rossif Sutherland are in this film, and it's rated R for violent content, gore, language, and some sexual references. All right. And yeah, Perkins, very, very busy. He's already in production on his next film, which is going to be called The Young People, and that is aiming for a 2026 release. So yeah, man, it looks like he's going to be like 2 movies a year kind of schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and put a pause on the music here. Let's check out this final trailer. I totally understand if you guys want to dip out and don't want anything spoiled. I will not take it personally, but we are going to get this trailer going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go back. Can we do that? Can we just do that? When we didn't know. We didn't know any of this.
I got goosebumps all over.
What are you?
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go ahead and replay that muted and just take another look. Yeah, goosebumps the whole time. I mean, especially, I'll let you know. I mean, I guess at the beginning, there's not really, I'm not getting goosebumps, but whatever sounds are going on the other side of that door were freaking the hell out of me. I'm very curious to know how the story all, unfolds, because it looks like we're getting these glimpses into like, a past time. Some of these women that we're seeing, it looks like they existed like well into the past. So there's something around this cabin that's just dark and disturbing. And then during that little bit where she's sitting up against the mirror, I'm like getting hardcore goosebumps. The performance by Tatiana Maslany is really freaking the hell out of me, if I'm being honest. Like, there is something really unnerving and unsettling here, and the only bit of trepidation that I have is sometimes these movies, the trailers are so good at like raising all these questions in our minds, and then you actually go and sit down and watch the movie, and maybe it just doesn't like reach those heights, you know, like something like Weapons. I definitely expected more and wanted something better from Weapons than I ended up getting, but a lot of people really enjoyed it. I just felt like the answer to all the questions I had, that those answers weren't very satisfying, and that the third act sort of fumbled the ball. So, and then on the flip side of that though, like Longlegs had a very mysterious kind of trailer, and I really loved it. Like I loved that they kept things kind of obscured, and I felt like the movie explained as much as I needed explained, and I really loved Longlegs. So it's kind of can be a toss-up, you know, with these trailers. But what I love here is this just seems like otherworldly. No wonder Guillermo del Toro is digging this, because it seems to be leaning into a little bit of that nightmarish kind of you know, tinge that he has on his films. So I love that horror origami that folds into itself. I love that idea. That, man, that scene there where she's against the mirror, holy cow. So I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. You know, I'm looking forward to this movie quite a bit, and I'm a big Osgood Perkins fan. What can I say? Totally at this point simping for Osgood Perkins. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think, so let me know in the live chat your thoughts. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Keeper and on Osgood Perkins as a, you know, a voice in horror just in general. And thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. Hype the video if you're feeling it as well, because we're going to be covering horror news here on the channel all the time. So movies, television shows, you know, books, comic books, video games, whatever, as long as it tickles our fancy or piques our interest, we're going to cover it right here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, how are you guys feeling on the Keeper trailer? Let me get it. Let me get this up. There we go. Let's bring up that creepy face right there, huh? We can all just look at that while we chit chat. Okay, let's see what we got. Looks like I'm missing out on a lot of chats here, little chitty chats. Okay, here we go. Haven't watched any of the trailers for Keeper. Well, Ashton, it's all over now, so you can join us. You can join back. There you go. Holy cow, Leanna Bevy Rage drops a $4.99, says for the watch party. Sounds like fun. Yeah, it could be part 1, and we'll do, you know, part 2 would be 3 and 4, and part 3 would be 5 and 6, and we could do those leading up to the new movie. Could be pretty fun. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Leanna. Really appreciate you. And I think that puts us in a spot where there's just one more left. Frank says, I've heard good things of Keeper. Yeah, this is right up my alley. And Frank, I know you are a big fan of Oddity. That's where I first heard praise for that movie, was from you. I believe you had said it was your favorite of, was it 2024? Or did that one come out like late 2023? I really dug it though. I finally watched it earlier this year. Loved it. Very unsettling. I'm getting some of those unsettling vibes from this movie too. And I like that. I like that kind of, just, you know, when they use the word nightmare, it's a great word to use, because you ever have one of those nightmares? It's so scary, and then you try to tell somebody about it and it just doesn't seem scary. It's like more about a feeling, and it's tough to describe everything you're seeing. I think sometimes film can be that way too, where it's like, looking at this image that we have on the screen right now, like this has a nightmarish quality to it. It's almost human. It's uncanny valley. It just ain't right. Like the little creature in Oddity, or I guess big creature in Oddity. Well, yeah, we'll do the watch party. We can do it here on YouTube or on the Discord. I guess it just sort of, I'll throw it out to you guys as a vote, but Discord is absolutely free to join, and we can show the movies, Tom. So, you know, it's a lot easier for people they don't have to match up their own copy or anything like that. So yeah, Gremlins 3, man, should be pretty awesome. Welcome on in, Jason from Backtrack Cinema. 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Exactly. Someone give Tom the Discord link. It is in the description below. So we've got to just, I just put a new one in there. I don't know. Let me know if it's not working. Try the one in the description, and if it's not working, there you go. You can, I guess Leanna shared a link right there for you. Some of those links expire, some of them don't, and then even the ones that say they don't, I think sometimes they expire too. Matt Fisher drops in another $5, so I think we're there, guys. Says, where have I heard the name Osgood Perkins from? Well, he directed The Black Coat's Daughter, Longlegs, The Monkey from earlier this year. He's got Keeper coming out. He is the son of Anthony Perkins from Psycho, who also directed later on in his career. Yeah. Cooking and typing, not a good combo. No, where you got oil on your fingers or something there, Mandy? You're all good. You are all good. Okay, let's see here. My 4K of Together just shipped. Man, that movie really hit me. I love Together. That was one that I think was better than Weapons, and I think it's better than Bring Her Back. Yeah. That's my hot take. My hot take is Weapons isn't even in my top 10 of the 2020s. I don't even know if that's a hot take, but it is one of my takes. Looks like I'm going to have to take PTO to see this one when it's released. Request submitted. Oh, for Keeper? Yeah, I want to check it out the night before, the Thursday night before it drops. Man is just drooling milk everywhere. Yeah, and then whatever this is, the collar that this creature has on looks almost like a mushroom, like a fungi kind of thing. It's very, very interesting. Everything about that trailer is a big yes, please give it to me. Yeah. I don't say goosebumps for every trailer. I know some people, when they do reactions or whatever, maybe they drum kind of stuff up. I just like to soak in the trailer the very first time I watch without reacting too much. But man, I really started getting creeped out goosebumps there during that trailer. Hey, what's happening, Gene? How are you doing? So good to see you. I thought he was going to say it was him. It was getting him. Oh my gosh. Stephanie, I can't even repeat that. I usually try to say it a nicer way, ooh, my pants just got tighter or something like that. Love the Longlegs trailer, but was so disappointed. We'll keep an open mind for Keeper. Yeah, keep that open mind for Keeper. I think Longlegs was so good, but I totally, it is one of those things. It's Weapons hit for some people. It didn't hit as hard for me. And I think Longlegs was one of those movies too, where half of the people felt a little underwhelmed, and then the other half were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, we've got Gina, aka My Chunky Jordy, joining us. How are you doing, Gina? So good to see you. Thank you for jumping in. And yeah, guys, don't forget to send the like button some love. Come on, give your guy Davey Deathray a little bit of love. Or Big Daddy D, as they call me in the Discord. So it's gets a little saucy over there. Okay, let me see. Do I have time for another one? Ooh, we're cutting it kind of close. I don't know if I have time for any others. I do need to get ready to head out here. Oh, we can cover these really quick, guys. We'll cover these really quick. So, because these are very small stories. There are no small actors, or no small roles, just small performers. Okay, guys, so the other week we covered Ty West putting together his own Christmas Carol movie. So it's called Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Reports are that Johnny Depp is going to be playing Scrooge here. And we just got word, it looks like Ian McKellen and Tremel Tillman have also join the cast. So this one comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting. And, casting news, not always something that we jump into and cover here, but since we covered the initial news of the project kicking off, I felt like we could jump in here too, especially with a name like Ian McKellen being involved. So let's see what we got here. There is a shot of Sir Ian McKellen from, Last Action Hero. Man, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. Totally forgot that he was in there. But the article says Ian McKellen and McKelling. So the article says Ian McKellen and Tremel Tillman are joining Johnny Depp and Andrea Riseborough in Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Deadline reports. The new take on Charles Dickens' 1843 novel will be released on November 13th, 2026 via Paramount. Ty West is directing from a script by Nathaniel Halpern, And the thrilling ghost story set in Dickens' London will follow one man's supernatural journey to face his past, present, and future and fight for a second chance. We all know the Christmas Carol story, right? So Depp will star as Ebenezer Scrooge. Sources say that Tillman will play the ghost of Christmas Present. Riseborough and McKellen's roles are unknown at this time. So we've got, Stephen Deuters, Jason Foreman, and Emma Watts are producing. And this is not the only dark version of A Christmas Carol that we're getting, because Robert Eggers is also developing a version starring Willem Dafoe. So I think that one's not going to come out until after Eggers' Wolfman movie, or I think it's called Werewolf. So either way, it is a Wolfman movie. So yeah, I just wanted to cover this little bit of news. Johnny Depp kind of making his return, right? Ty West, I think the X trilogy is so solid. I really like the Innkeepers and House of the Devil as well, but I think Ty West is like getting better as a director. So I am curious about this one. Is it going to have a more horror tinge to it? Is it going to be a straight up adaptation? Like, are we going to get that kind of Ty West feel, like that gritty sort of feel? Who is Ian McKellen going to be playing? Is he going to be like playing the Ghost of Christmas Future or something like that? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys, though. I'm curious to know if you're excited about this upcoming Christmas Carol adaptation. Tell me what your favorite adaptation is so far. And yeah, do you think it's going to be horror themed, or do you think it's just going to have, the classic horror elements that the story has, regardless of who's adapting it? Do you think it's going to be straightforward, or do you think they're really going to lean into that horror? I'm just curious to know what you guys have to say. So let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we're going to keep on covering horror news here all the time. So movies, TV shows, rumors, comic books, video games, whatever, as long as it piques our interest and tickles our fancy, we're going to cover it right here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, and I think I'm just going to jump into the next story here. This one, I think there was talk of bringing this one up on Hit the Bricks, but it didn't end up happening. But this has got me interested. I'll get into it as we go in here, and then I'll jump in and say, and have a chat with you guys before saying our goodbyes for this edition of Horror News Live. I'm gonna have a sip of water so I don't choke on my own spit here. There we go. All right, guys, so we've got word of a new survival slasher movie called River that is coming out. Looks like Shudder is producing it, judging by the headline here, coming to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting, and Jane Levy as well as Jethica. Wow. I start looking at her last name and I start, mispronouncing her first name. Okay, I'm going to do that all over again. All right, guys, we've got some news about a new survival slasher film. This story comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting, and the headline reads, Jane Levy and Jessica Roth star in Shudder's survival slasher River. So this has got me very interested because I think Jane Levy's fucking awesome. I mean, 2013 Evil Dead, she had me right away, right? Don't Breathe, awesome as well. I've heard really good things about like Zoe's Infinite Playlist, stuff like that. She is this performer, like certain performers I describe as gripping. They mesmerize you, they grip you, they don't let go. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, like those are two guys that pop into my head when I think about gripping performers. Jane Levy to me is a very gripping performer. Like I just buy into what she, puts out there. What she does in front of the camera is amazing to me. Now I have not seen what Jessica Roth is from Happy Death Day. I need to see those movies. I have not seen, there's two of those, right? I have not seen either one. So I need to jump in there and check those out. But I just wanted to cover this one. I'm guessing it's a pretty quick story, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know how terrible of a person I am for not having seen Happy Death Day, and tell me what I'm missing. And should I be even more excited for this new movie called River? Let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments and let me know down there. But let's go ahead and get into this. I love this image that they've blended together of the two actresses like screaming at each other. It's just perfect. So there you go. This is like meme worthy. So somebody turned this into a fun meme. The article says genre favorites Jane Levy and Jessica Roth will face off against a masked killer in River, Variety has learned. Max Mattern and Dane DeLigero, that's not how you say that name. Max Mattern and Dane D. Wow. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip all that. Max Mattern and Dane DeLigero will also star in the film, which marks the feature debut of writer-director Joshua Giuliano. It follows three estranged siblings who reunite in their hometown after the death of their father. They set out to scatter his ashes at his favorite spot on a remote river, but when their boat breaks down, the trip devolves into a waking nightmare. Stranded miles from help with no cell service, they soon realize they're being stalked by a faceless killer who has emerged from the woods. To survive the night, the siblings must put their long-standing grudges aside and fight together against a ruthless, almost mythic terror. The survival slasher is expected to be released in theaters in 2026 through IFC, followed by streaming on Shudder. All right, so we've got some more information about producers and all that kind of stuff. I try to stay away from reading a bunch of people's names for obvious reasons, because I have a tough time with it. So let's go ahead and jump on down to the article. It says, this is a quote from the director, Joshua Giuliano. He says, River was 6 years in the making, a labor of love that culminated in the most rewarding experience of my life. Working with Shudder has been a thrilling collaboration, and knowing River will have a theatrical release is a dream come true. I look forward to sharing our terrifying creation with audiences. And Shudder's vice president, Nicholas Lazo, says, Josh is a striking new voice in horror. His simultaneously beautiful and horrifying script captivated us from page one, and it's our privilege to team up with such an immensely talented group of producers, cast, and crew to bring his feature debut to life. So yeah, guys, keep an eye out for this one. Let me know your thoughts. It sounds like, I'm not going to say it sounds like a generic idea, but we see in a lot of these things, they have the inner turmoil and the drama between the siblings, which that happens in families. And then just coupling that with this slasher experience and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just interested. The selling point for me is Jane Levy is in this thing. So I'm curious to see where this goes from here. And I want to see a trailer for this thing just to kind of see what the production value is. And, Shudder has been producing some movies that look really damn good. I mean, didn't they end up hopping on for In a Violent Nature, When Evil Lurks? They were a big part of Late Night with the Devil. So this is a thing where I think Shudder, like as far as horror goes, to me has a better track record than like bigger outlets like Netflix and stuff like that. So that's just my own personal belief, but I'm curious to know what you guys think and if you're excited for this survival slasher called River, starring Jane Levy and Jessica Roth. Let me know in the live chat. If you're watching this after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the video, hype the video if you're digging what we're doing here. That will help this community grow. And yeah, we're just going to keep on covering horror news here. So movies, TV shows, comic books, video games, whatever, as long as it piques our interest or tickles our fancy, we're going to cover it right here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, there we go. Got the little story there out of the way. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. There we go. And now it's just me hanging out with you guys, but I do have to get ready for this amazing concert that I'm about to go to. So let me catch up with y'all. And then we will do a little bit of a sign off. Holy cow! Just so I don't miss him. We got our guy Pizzow in the chat. What's happening, Piz? Hope you are doing well. It's a good night so far, and it should be even greater once I am hanging out in the, VIP balcony watching the Beths later on tonight. I am very pumped. Keep an eye out for pictures on the community tab. You guys are going to be like, this has nothing to do with horror movies. What is this Davey guy doing? Who does he think he is? Definitely been thinking about going as Gladys for Halloween next year. I saw some really good Gladys costumes for Halloween this year. I mean, she freaked the hell out of me. I just felt like we spent way too much time with her in the third act. It really, like, the creep factor just started falling down for me. Excellent. Yeah, Chester, maybe we can find a way to do both. Okay? Maybe we can do that. If somebody else can stream the movie on the Discord side, I can hang out here and stream on YouTube and then that way people can have both experiences would be available. Holy cow, Antonis Andriotis dropping in with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Antonis, one of our great channel members. He says, I finally watched The Black Phone 2 last night on demand. Have you seen it yet? Yes, I did. So, Antonis, I did a full review on... Didn't I do a full review on the horror show channel, I believe? And yes, and I did an out-of-theater reaction. I thought The Black Phone 2 was okay. I really liked the first movie a lot. And I think in the second movie, it was a little too long for me. Felt a little long-winded as well. So maybe if they had just trimmed out about 15 minutes, I think it would have ran a bit snappier for me. Really loved the music. Scott Derrickson's son did the music for the movie, and I thought the music was my favorite part. And I do like the, grainy... The way they kind of use that sinister 8mm footage graininess, a little bit of that, it's got a little of that Terrifier feel when they go into the dreamscape. I thought that was cool, but ultimately I felt like The Black Phone 2 was just, it couldn't really justify its own existence, as its own film, but it had aspects of it I really liked. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Excited about Ian McKellen, or excited about the Jane Levy movie, Allie Girl? I'm guessing maybe the Jane Levy. Oh, thanks, Allie. Yes. Brand new haircut, guys. Brand new haircut. Had to get handsome for the Beths. You know what I mean? You got to go all out for these people. It's true, Kim. Spooky season is pretty much all year for us horror hounds. That's for sure. We celebrate it year round, and I do a halfway to Halloween thing. So, this past Halloween, I did a fundraiser for St. Mary's Food Bank. It's actually, the donation site is still open, guys. So we're at $833 right now. So that provides over 4,000 meals for hungry people here in the Phoenix area. And I've got that link pinned in the chat. Every dollar that's donated provides 5 meals. So even if you can only donate the $1, that's awesome. And then come halfway to Halloween in April, we're going to do another fundraiser. So yeah, spooky season all year with emphasis in October and April. Jane Levy, we know you love her, Davey. I mean, shit, she's so good in Evil Dead. So good. And Don't Breathe, she's really great there as well. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, Ashton. Both of those actresses together. Yeah. Is that a Michael Myers cup, Davey? Yes, it is. It is a tiki mug. This is a Curse of Michael Myers tiki mug. I love this mug so much. When I used to drink, which, by the way, guys, I passed 90 days no alcohol. I'm on like day 93 right now. I was going to put I got like a digital chip for my 90 days, but I'm like, I'm going to wait till day 100 and I'll do a short on socials and stuff and celebrate the 100th day instead of just celebrating the 90th day. But yeah, when I used to drink, this guy would really pack a punch, hold a big old drink for me. But now I've just got water in there and it's delicious. Yeah, Piz hanging out. Love seeing Piz joining us. Hopefully you are doing well also, Piz, you and Jeremy. Give Jeremy and Hemingway all of our love. Let's see here. Adding Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2 to the list. Thank you so much. David Lynch liked Jane Levy and gave her a cameo in Twin Peaks: The Return. You need to go back. I know. It's been, I've taken so much time off from Twin Peaks. I really do need to get back into it. I have not seen Happy Death Day. And there's a sequel, right? Yeah. The first Happy Death Day is fun, says Raggedy Man. All right. There it is. Happy Death Day is good. The sequel is meh. Yeah, that's usually it, right? Probably. Is it still worth watching? Would you say, Ray? This is the sequel worth watching? You know, maybe provided that I like the first one, right? Yeah, Oddity was fun. Creeped the hell out of me. Jamie likes both of those. Ashton really likes the first one. Okay. Happy Death Day is a fun film, but I've had the second for over a year and it's still wrapped as I haven't heard the best things about it. You know, and it can be that way. Like I have that experience too, where I put off watching a movie and then I'm like, man, it wasn't really that bad. Like, and then I heard, you know, like Sinister 2, everyone was like, oh my God, Sinister 2 is so bad. It's like, it's not that Sinister 2 is like a poorly made movie, but again, it's the word or the phrase that I think of is like, does it justify its own existence? And I think Sinister 2 doesn't really justify its own existence. It doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It doesn't mean it was poor work that was put out there, but it's like, does it get its own piece of the pie, or does it lean too much on what came before it? I don't know. Destiny says, I enjoy both Happy Death Day movies, the first one more, but there's some good heartfelt moments in both. Hell yeah. Jane Levy, boing. Yes. She is, well, and it's funny, like I don't even really think of her that way because, I mean, obviously, like she is a very beautiful woman. But when I think about her, I think of Evil Dead, and I think of her like running around in the rain in circles and like barfing up like corn soup or whatever the hell they have her puking up. Like that's what I think of. But yeah, she's super adorable. She does have a really pretty face. Like she is, yeah, she's a cutie for sure. Let's see what else we got going on here. I enjoyed it, but the first one is way better. Talking about the Black Phone too. Yeah. Yeah, I was just kind of a little deflated, I would say, with it. I wish we'd get Don't Breathe 3. It could happen. It could happen. Thank you so much, JG. Really appreciate you. 90 days, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. You guys are too sweet. Thank you, Piz. Yeah. And hey, again, no judgment on anyone else. It's just for me, I would like, it stopped being fun. Stop being fun, and there you go. Now I'm better off for it, for sure. Has anyone seen the Michael Myers of Decatur? Oh yeah, this guy's amazing. And he's already planning stuff for Christmas season. So Michael Myers of Decatur is great. He gets his kid involved as well. There's also Little Michael Myers. I don't think the two are related. But Little Michael Myers, who is one of our channel members, actually. And yeah, I guess he was at H45 and he's got a social. It'll be interesting to see this kid grow up, you know. You guys are too sweet. Thank you so very much. Oh, there we go. I have watched way worse sequels. I have seen Wishmaster 3. So I've seen some bad sequels for sure. Even, you know, bad movies, they can still be. Here's the thing, is it entertaining? I can watch a bad movie as long as it's entertaining. Like Troll 2 is entertaining, right? Even like on Mystery Science Theater, those movies would be dreadful without the commentary, but in the scope of Mystery Science Theater, like I can watch Beast of Yucca Flats. It's probably the worst movie ever made. Like I think it's worse than Manos and I mean, any of the Ed Wood movies. I don't know which Ed Wood movie you'd say is the worst one out of the ones he did. I would personally say the worst Ed Wood one is, I think it's called Orgy of the Dead. It's pretty bad, but yeah. Yeah, I've watched some pretty bad movies. There you go. Gina prefers Sinister 2. H-Roll, not much is up. Just covered some horror news here, and I'm about to scoot out and go to a concert. But you can always scrub it on back if you want to check out the news that we covered. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, sure, I don't think about Jane Levy that way. I'm just assuming that that's what you're referring to, Piz. Since you mentioned Happy Death Day, Christopher Landon would be my pick for a Gremlins movie. I think that would be good. Yeah, I think he's got what it takes. I mean, I like that they're going back to like old guard people to do the new Gremlins movie. But I think Christopher Landon, you know, I watched Drop earlier this year. And while Drop, I think, is kind of a single serving movie for me, it really hit as far as like the humor, the tension. He really nailed like a Hitchcockian kind of feel. The way that they overlaid like the texting, the way they do the screen overlay, that's like a really, you know, you got to be clever with how you do that. I thought they did a good job with that there. Yeah, I'd like to see more from Christopher Landon. So I'm, and it sounds like Happy Death Day is really, really damn good. So yeah, I need to check that one out very, very soon. Says the guy who simps Julia Garner. Yeah. She's a really good actress, man. I'm definitely don't look at Julia Garner that way. Not to say, no, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers. But what I reckon, when I look at Julia Garner, the very first thing I see is this is a gripping, and another great example of an actress or a performer that grips me with their performance. Make your wish, the wish master. What's happening, Brad? Brad Underwood joining us. We are just wrapping things up, Brad, but feel free to scrub on back if you want to see what we covered here. Davey, have you watched Frank trying on Halloween masks? It's hilarious. None fit. I have not, but I tell you what. So I have some of the masks that are like, they're big, right? There's like a nice size. You can have a big old head of hair and still put them on. And then some of the more recent ones, like the 2018, the Kills and the Ends masks, they are smaller. So they fit me technically. There's really not much breathing room. But I've noticed that those are smaller for sure. I wonder if that's just part of not having a nicer, like custom kind of mask. But I would love to get some of my masks customized at some point. Would be really cool. Let's see what else we got. Do you ever feel like bad movie gets thrown around too much? Some movies that are just meant to provide blood, boobs, and breasts are good for what they were intended to do. Yeah, I don't know if the movie. So here's my thing, JG. So if people are going to critique something or say it's bad, just tell me why. Like, what does bad mean to you? Right? What are the parameters? Because yeah, it's like a movie like Wolfman didn't fully satisfy me. It like Julia Garner was great. The story just sort of like meandered and kind of let me down and didn't provide me with the big moments that I wanted. So I don't know if the movie was bad, but I can get into the specifics of like what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I wanted to see that I didn't get, like stuff like that. So I guess usually when I say the term bad movie, I usually mean like low budget movie that usually gets like, made fun of or poked fun at. But yeah, I think bad movies can have they certainly can have their own entertainment for sure. And really that's the goal of any movie, is to entertain. So if the movie entertains you, good or bad, like qual es la diferencia, as they say, like, is Suburban Commando really a bad movie? I don't know. Like, it entertained the hell out of me when I was a kid. So there you go. I still need to see that one. I'm making my way through The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix for the very first time. So I'm giving the Flanagan limited series thing a shot. I've only seen 2 Flanagan movies so far, so I still need to see Dr. Sleep. Let's see here. All right. Oh, he did Freaky as well. Okay, that seems like his kind of thing, right? Yeah, he's got a little. So Happy Death Day is like Groundhog Day, and then Freaky is like the body swap thing. So that's kind of his niche a little bit, huh? Yes, gripping. Piz, not like with that kind of body part, bud. I find myself as an audience member gripped by the performance. There you go. That's my politician response, my coach speak. Oh my goodness, holy cow. Love you guys in the chat. You guys are amazing. And you know what? This is a good opportunity before I say goodbye. I meant to do this earlier on in the stream and I totally forgot. I just know it's been a while. Like, I used to like really dive into maybe the personal stuff a little bit more, like when everything was like really tumultuous and all that in my life. And it's okay to not be diving into that stuff. Here we are 93 days into the non-alcohol journey, and I just wanted to express gratitude and thanks to you guys for everything that you all have provided, as a community, but then individually, you guys know who you are, the folks that I speak with and interact with, individually. You guys all have played such a big part in, just not even just keeping me grounded, just keeping things like level. So even if I'm having a bad day and I jump in on a stream with you guys, I get to forget that in a healthy way. And then usually I feel better about things after the stream. Usually I'm like more even tempered after that. So I appreciate every single one of you. You know, it's not just the Patreon members and the channel members and the mods. I mentioned you guys all on every stream, and I appreciate all of you so very much, but it is every single one of you guys. I really do appreciate everything you do for the community, for each other, the way you guys are there for each other, and the way we all have fun together. And of course, the way you guys are there for me and supportive of what we're doing here on the Davey Deathray channel. I just, every now and then I realize, hey man, you have to actually ground everything to a halt to actually say it. So I like to remind myself to do that. So grinding the whole stream to a halt to say thank you so very much. I really do mean it. I'm about to go have a great night here with my big brother, and we're going to take in a band from New Zealand called the Beths that we both very much enjoy. So I'm super pumped. And before we head out, I'm not just going to say thank you and then bail. I want to go through here. Look at this. All these super chats. Matt Fisher, this guy's brand new to didn't even know who we were until YouTube was like, hey, Matt, you might like this Davey Deathray community thing. So check out this live stream. So Matt dropped a $5, followed by a $2, followed by another $5, a third $5. Leanna Bevy Rage dropping in with a $4.99. Not only a channel member and a mod, but also showing the love on the super chat side of things. Matt Fisher, another $5. What a fun cat to have join our community, right? What a cool guy. And then Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members, dropping in with a $4.99 as well. Thank you guys so much for going above and beyond, right? The super chats are they're the extra fun stuff that we can do. Certainly not required at all. I don't ever want to turn this into focusing on the money, but it certainly does help to feel, there's a lot of time that gets put into doing YouTube, and it feels nice to have a little something to, really it's not even just about the money side of it. I think what I really enjoy and appreciate about it is it's like, hey, we really are building something here that people do want to contribute to, and people do want to support on that next level, and it's not required that you do, but it is so appreciated for the folks that do. So thank you guys so very much for your support. We reached our super chat goal, so I will be hosting a Scream/Scream 2 double feature watch party. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody that can stream it on Discord, and then I'm going to be over here on YouTube for the watch party side of it. So if you have your own copy, you can line it up. We'll watch it on YouTube, and I'll basically be jumping back and forth I'll be able to chat and, be on screen for you guys on the YouTube side, and then I'll be able to chat in the live chat over on the Discord side. So we'll get that going. Thank you so much to everybody that helped make that goal happen. And let me close this poll here. Are you excited for Gremlins 3 with Spielberg and Columbus back? 46 votes. Holy cow. 54% of you said yes, this is the dream team. 26% said cautiously optimistic. 18% said meh, the original is enough. Man, you gotta watch Gremlins 2. And then just 2% said only if Gizmo goes full savage. I should have said only if Gizmo goes full alpha. Oh, the alpha jokes are never going to get old because they are coded big dick jokes. So, we like those. We like those here. The jokes, okay? Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. If you haven't hit that like button already, make sure you hit the like button on the way out of the stream. It really does help out the channel. I don't think I'm missing anything else, but yeah, I'm just going to say thank you one more time to you guys. I'm going to go through and maybe grab some of these chats. Love The Haunting of Hill House. I'm warming up to it, but after 3 episodes, I'm finally kind of seeing what's going on, and I'm like, man, that's 3 hours just to start feeling something here. That's my issue even with a limited series is 3 hours, and I'm finally starting to there's just a lot going on and a lot of, I don't want to call it fluff yet, but maybe it is fluff. But that's very encouraging to hear, Des. I am liking it so far, and we'll see if I end up loving it. Trashbox says samesies, Des. My friend was stunt coordinator on Haunting of Hill House. Hell yeah. Congrats on 93 days. That's a huge accomplishment. Thank you so much. Oh, Stephanie. Well, Right back at you, miss. Enjoy the show. Thank you, Ray. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you, Mandy. Really appreciate you. The community is full of amazing souls. Yes, it is, Jamie. Absolutely. The Death Squad brings life to the day today. There you go. I will rock my booty off. I don't really dance unless I have an instrument in my hands, but maybe I will. Probably not. I know my language is out of control. It is terrible on here. That's why my parents don't watch. When do we ever keep it clean? Yeah, it's true. We get dirtier on the Discord. I will say that. Zach Harris jumping on in says, have you heard the Where Did the Gremlins Go song? I don't know if I have. I'll have to check that one out, Zach. And welcome on in, man. We're kind of saying our goodbyes, but welcome on in. Feel free to scrub on back if you want to check out the news stories that we cover. Gremlins 3, The Mummy, The Keeper final trailer, which gave me goosebumps and creeped the hell out of me. Some news on Ty West's Christmas Carol movie and Jane Levy coming back to horror. So we've got a handful there. Yes, I'm going to suck it up. I don't know what that means. It sounds filthy, but yes. Michael Rudolph just jumping in to say have a good night. Or maybe you've been lurking the whole time. Michael, thank you so much for jumping into the chat. I'm not sure if this is your first time here, but you're kicking it with the Death Squad and really appreciate you hanging out with us, bud. Yeah, guys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. Think about hyping one of the more recent videos you've seen that you've dug. I am super pumped and very proud of my quarter speed breakdown of the Scream 7 trailer. So if you are a Scream fan, we've got some really nice insight there in that breakdown. And it's just something, it's a good conversation piece. So check it out if you haven't checked it out already. Jump into those comments over there and let me know your thoughts. I'm pumped on that one. Blair, we had a whole bunch of topics. Gremlins 3, The Mummy, Keeper, Ty West's A Christmas Carol, and then Jane Levy returning to horror. So if you scrub back, you can check out all those stories. And I put everything up on the screen. And for the most part, I don't make too many mistakes, although maybe tonight I made a handful more than normal. Anyways, guys, I got to head out. I'm so pumped for the Beths. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, our amazing group of Death Squad mods, and of course, really just anyone that kicked it with us live or after the fact. And yeah, every single one of you guys is appreciated so much. I love you all. I will be back sometime within the next few days. You can bet your booty on that one. But you know what, guys? Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.